The tools, products, and techniques in this video are intended for use by adult modelers. Anyone under the age of 13 should always have adult supervision when using said tools, products, and techniques.
Now, back to G.I. Joe.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Payne-ted Plastic. As you saw in the description, we're going to do a custom barbecue in this build. I was contacted by a good friend in the G.I. Joe community, Joe Motion Videos 82, and he had this lovely barbecue figure that he found in the wild, and he wanted to make it a Slaughter's Marauders barbecue, which, I mean, I think that's a really cool idea. If you're not familiar with Slaughter's Marauders, it was a sub-team of G.I. Joe started in 89, I believe. Yeah, and had a very particular color scheme. I'll put a image into, you know, for those who aren't familiar with it. But yeah, very, very particular color scheme. And he wanted to paint this guy up, asked me if I'd be willing to help him out with that. And I said, of course. And yeah, so here we go. Got barbecue all ready to go. I have done some really quick, just kind of paint tests. And I'm happy with some of them, not happy with some of them. The maroon and dark green, I think, are pretty good. This green is just all kinds of wrong, right? The blue is a little bit too dark, and then this green, the secondary green, is also a little bit too dark. So I'm going to keep playing with those a bit until I get a palette that I'm happy with. But for right now, let's get barbecue open. Let's take a look at him. And yeah, see what we got here. So give me 1 second. I'll get this guy all out of the package.
G.I. Joe will return after these messages.
All right, here we go. Got barbecue all out of the package. A really, really good looking figure. I don't know. Can you see that? The legs are really loose on this guy. I don't know if that's just this one or all of them. I don't know. But yeah, really, really good looking figure. Actually, I pulled out my vintage barbecue. I hope the glare is not too bad on that, just to sort of compare them. And man, Hasbro did a fantastic job of kind of replicating that vintage look. And I mean, even the backpack, you know, it's updated, of course, make it a little more modern, but man, they did a great job of getting that vintage feel. Just fantastic. Yeah, really cool. Yeah, like I said, the legs on this guy are really loose. I don't know if that's, might have to look at that when we take him apart, but I mean, can you see that? he does a little dance. Yeah, anyway, so to paint this guy up, I think the easiest way to do it will be just to take him apart. The color scheme is a very, very precise color scheme. I'm going to mask off some bits. I was hoping these little armbands were a separate piece, but it looks like they're molded in. So we'll have to do some masking there, some masking over here, but no big deal. I'd like to get this vest overlay off and paint that separately if that's a possibility. But oh, look at that, he's got some mold lines under there. I wonder whose torso they used for him. It'll be interesting to find that out. Yeah, so to take these guys apart, it's just you just got to heat the plastic up. It's called boil and pop. You dunk them in boiling water, and all the limbs just pop right off. No muss, no fuss. So that's what we're going to do next. Try to get this guy into pieces. There are a few parts that don't need to be painted. The boots, I think, will be okay to stay this sort of black-gray color. The gloves as well. All of these little holster things I'm not going to paint. Number one, because I think black will look fine with the overall scheme. I'm going to have black up here and, you know, black on the chest. And the other reason is these are a sort of vinyl, which I don't know how well they'll take paint. It might try to chip off. I'm a little bit worried about that on the chest too, because this is a really rubbery sort of overlay. But we will cross that bridge when we come to it. For right now, let's just get this guy all separated up. I'm gonna go boil some water, and I'll try to do this on camera, but it might be a little bit hard here at the workbench to, you know, have a pot of boiling water, and I'll try, but you know, we'll see what happens. Hopefully I can get that filmed. So yep, give me just a second and we'll get this guy broken into his pieces. Oh nice, the head just pops right off. That's nice. We'll be able to paint all this separately, paint that neck separately. Yep. All right, be right back.
Now back to G.I. Joe.
All right, everybody, here we go. I'm going to try to get these limbs off over here at the bench. Put down a kitchen towel just to, you know, catch any mess. And have a mug of just boiled water. It's kind of funny, actually. Nobody here drinks coffee, right? We don't even own a coffee maker. But yeah, I know it's crazy, but even still, we have amassed quite the collection of coffee mugs. Most of them Christmas themed and that sort of thing. But yeah, got a whole ton of mugs, but no coffee maker. Just sort of a funny sidebar. Yeah, so let's get these limbs off. I think I'm going to start with the legs. And yeah, very simply just dunk him in for a few seconds. Let's give that a try. Just like that. See, they almost just fall off when the plastic is warm. Right? Just like that. Couldn't be easier. So, I'm going to do the rest of them, and I think we'll do a time lapse so you don't have to just sit here and watch me popping limbs. I will be putting these little guys to the side, and I've got the head over here, incidentally, if you were wondering why. He was headless. Yep. So, give me just a few minutes. We'll get this all sorted out. All right, everybody, here we go. Got barbecue all disassembled. Yeah, not too bad. I did have a little bit of trouble with the shoulders. They didn't want to pop out. I looked around online, and apparently it's just a socket like this, but for whatever reason they didn't want to let go, and I didn't want to force it because, well, this toy doesn't belong to me. Yeah, I couldn't get the chest overlay off either. I heated it up and started stretching it, trying to get it off, and I think I probably could have gotten it off, but it occurred to me that if it was that hard to take off, putting it back on would be equally hard, right? And I was afraid it would scratch up some paint or something if, you know, if I had to like force it back on. So yeah, decided just to leave that as it is. Not really that big of a deal. I'll just have to mask off, you know. I mean, I had to do that anyway, but I'll just have to mask this stuff off when it comes time to paint. But no big deal. I'd considered gluing the vest in place just so it wouldn't, you know, wiggle around and do all that stuff. But, you know, I kind of don't think the super glue would hold really well on this vinyl because it's so bendy and flexy, I think it would probably just, end up breaking off eventually. And not breaking off, but separating eventually. So, yeah. But, yeah. Got the legs and stuff off. I did end up taking the hands off. They popped right off because they're not going to get painted, right? The hands will just stay this black color. The boots, I could probably pop those off, but again, I really don't need to. I'm just going to mask those, and the rest of the leg can just get painted. Yeah, so that's where we are. Got everything disassembled and ready to start up. These will also not get painted, so yeah, arms, torso. Where's the head? Ruh-roh. I don't know where his head is. Oh, jeez. Really? Yeah. Yeah, so there's one more thing I want to get done in this episode, and that's a little bit of masking, right? We're gonna get these pieces masked off. The boots will get masked, right? The face. In fact, we might start with the face, actually. Yeah, let me get all this stuff out of the way. Yeah, we're going to start with the face. I'll do the armbands and the feet. I'll do all that off camera. But just really quickly to show you sort of my process for masking. I like Tamiya tape, but there's a lot of different tapes, and they're all pretty good. I mean, as long as it gets covered. That's the real point. So, do I have enough to go? I don't know if I have enough to go long ways. Let's see. Nope, I don't. Not at all. Not even close. All right, no big deal. So I'm going to go all the way across, cover everything. One of the reasons I like Tamiya, and it's not the only reason, but it is a good one, I think, is it's a little bit transparent, or not transparent, translucent, I guess. So you can really see some of the details, once the tape gets on. But basically, I've just covered everything, and now I'm just going to take my stick and go right around the details I want covered, right? I think that's just about got it. So then, once I've gone all around and I'm pretty comfortable that it's stuck, then I grab my X-Acto, right? And the first couple of passes, I like to turn the blade upside down. And that's pretty much just dragging the line we just cut, or we just, made with the stick. All we're doing is just dragging the knife around that. Not really trying to cut. You'll hear the paper sort of tear, but, not using the blade side, basically, is what I'm trying to say. Let's see how we did. Yeah, that ridge is gonna need a little extra care, but that's all right. All in all, I'd say that was a pretty successful mask. Then I just go back with my stick, and any little straggler areas, I just kind of push that around, make sure it all sets down nicely. There's this little hose, which I may just brush paint that after we get it sprayed, right? I think that'll be easier than trying to mask this off. It's just a little black hose. But yeah, that's pretty much it. For the masking of the head, I do have a little bit down here. And honestly, we can just take a piece of the scrap. I may have cut it too big, actually. Nah, I think that'll be all right. Right, just to cover the bottom where, you know, where it didn't really cover with the tape. Just like that. And that's basically it. Yeah. So I'm gonna go off and do this to the rest of them. Basically, just cover the black parts right on the arms and the boots and all that stuff. But I'm gonna do all that off camera. Like I said, I'm gonna do this exact same technique to everything else. So yeah, I think I'm gonna leave this episode here. And when we pick back up with episode 2, we'll get the painting process started. I've got a neat little trick I'm sort of anxious to try. But yeah, well, I'll get into that in the next episode. So yeah, thanks for hanging out with me. Hope you're having fun. And yeah, see you in episode 2. Bye-bye.
Hey, watch this. You're gonna pull that alarm? Why not? It'll be fun.
That kind of fun can cost a life.
Barbecue.
False alarms are no joke. They keep firefighters away from the real action. And in this business, a few seconds can mean the difference between life and death. Remember, a firefighter's job is to fight fires.
Not answer false alarms. Now I know.
And knowing is half the battle.
G.I. Joe!